Hey guys, so I've been seeing some people online whenever they talk about Breath of the Wild, they always say something along the lines of like, it doesn't count as a Zelda game, or they'll straight up say it's not a Zelda game because of how different it is. Um, but it's called Zelda, so it is a Zelda game. Let me explain. So, before we talk about Breath of the Wild itself, let's take a second to ask what even makes a game feel like Zelda, I guess. If you've played the older games, like Ocarina of Time, Twilight Princess, or even A Link to the Past, you kind of get used to the classic Zelda formula. You start out in like a small area, like a village or something like that, and you do a little, I wouldn't even call it a tutorial, but you do a few little things in the beginning, and then you slowly unlock everything. And yeah, I mean, that formula is a classic. It works, it's fun, it's what a lot of people grew up with, including me. So when Breath of the Wild came along and just threw that whole idea out of the window, it caught people off guard, including me. No traditional dungeons, no items like the hook shot or boomerang. I mean, you could even run straight to Ganon right after, the beginning part, and that's pretty crazy. But here's the thing, different does not mean it's not Zelda. To me, what makes Zelda Zelda isn't just the items of the dungeons, it's the feeling of adventure, of stepping into this huge world that you have no idea what it is unless you've played the game a million times. And a lot of us Zelda fans, we replay the same games over and over. But you know what I mean? The first time you play one, you still kind of know what to expect, except the map is kind of new normally. Uh, but anyway, Breath of the Wild nails that feeling, of like the discovery and exploration and stuff like that. In fact, I'd say it does it better than almost any other game in the series, because of the fact that it's open world, and when it came out, it was completely new to us. But I mean, remember the first time you leave the Shrine of Resurrection, I can't fucking talk, and you walk up that cliff, and you see the entire world stretched out in front of you. Well, I wouldn't say the entire world, but you see a good majority of it or whatever. I mean, that was great. That was the exact same feeling I got as a kid, when I first saw Hyrule Field in Ocarina of Time. It's bigger though. I mean, obviously, like I said, it's open world. Uh, Zelda's always been about exploring a world that feels alive. And even if Breath of the Wild changed how that world works, it still captures the same feeling. Another thing I want to say is this: Zelda never really has stayed the same. And before anyone comes at me, I get that the formula's kind of been the same, but there's always slight differences. People forget, but even the older games change things up. Like Majora's Mask only had 4 dungeons and used a time loop. Wind Waker had a huge ocean instead of a big field. Skyward Sword had motion controls and almost no overworld. Also, I haven't beat Skyward Sword yet, but I know a good bit. My point is, every game tried something different. So when people say Breath of the Wild is too different and that makes it not Zelda, I think they're kind of looking at the past with rose-colored glasses. Like, Zelda has always been about evolving and, being different. Breath of the Wild just took a bigger leap than usual. But you know what? To me, I feel like that change was needed. After Skyward Sword, again, I haven't beat it, but I know enough, so no one come at me. After Skyward Sword, the series was starting to feel a little bit stuck. The old formula is great, I still love it, but it was starting to feel a little like tired, not really boring, but it needed something new. Breath of the Wild blew it all up, and in doing that, it gave us something new and fresh that still stayed true to what Zelda's really about. Um, like it still feels like Zelda. And okay, let's talk about the little things for a second too, actually. Yeah, there's no traditional dungeons, but there are over 120 shrines, and a bunch of those are basically mini dungeons anyway. You can freeze water, stop time, magnetize metal. The creativity is off the charts, and if you count Tears of the Kingdom, that's even more stuff you can do. And the world is full of familiar Zelda stuff anyway. Koroks, rupees, Kukos. Sorry if you say it a different way than that. I've always called them that. The Master Sword, even music cues that call back to older games. It's not like they forgot it was Zelda. They just rebuilt it from the ground up. And personally, I think that's kind of amazing. The truth is, if Breath of the Wild had just copied the old games again, it wouldn't have had the impact it did. What makes Zelda special isn't just what it does, but like how it makes you feel. I mean, this game, it got me back into games. I was in a rut where I was bored of a lot of things. I had literally got so bored I bought like a PS3, and it was just to play The Last of Us. And I'd already played it before, but I was like, oh, this, I hadn't played this game forever. It's gonna be great, and I did have fun doing that. But there was nothing new out that I wanted to play. And then my friends are like, oh, you still haven't played Breath of the Wild? And I was like, no. And the game had been out for a year or two at that point. Because when it first came out, I'll be honest, I didn't want to play it. It looked stupid to me. I was like, this is Zelda. But then I played it, and it's like one of the best Zelda games I've ever made. Like, it deserved the game of the year. But yeah, I mean, stuff like climbing a mountain, just to see what's on the other side, like gliding into a village and stuff. Like, I didn't know the names of these villages now. I didn't know what was in them. You find a shrine by accident while exploring. I mean, that's the kind of stuff that makes Zelda Zelda. Not because it's the same as before, but because it gives you that same feeling that hooked you in the first place. So yeah, I get it. Breath of the Wild is different. It's not the Zelda game we were used to, but I mean, honestly, that's okay. Games change, companies change, people change, and Zelda, maybe more than any other series, has always found a way to grow without, losing its, how do I put this? Losing its, what's the fucking word I'm looking for? Losing its touch, soul? I don't know. Its heart. Heart. Get it, Zelda? That was that was terrible. I'm gonna shut up now. Breath of the Wild is a Zelda game, though, 100%. It just happens to be the one that dared to ask, what if we let go of these old rules and trust the player to explore again? And I think that's what the game's needed. But thanks for listening, guys. I know it's been a while, so sorry if I kind of spaced out, not talking as clearly as I do. But if you like this, feel free to like, comment, or subscribe. I make videos like this from time to time. It was weekly, but I took a little break for like a month or two. But now I'm back, so there's no need to worry. But I'd love to know what you guys think, though. Is Breath of the Wild a Zelda game to you, or do you still miss the old formula, or would you want them to do something like where they combine the old formula with the new formula? Either way, let's talk about it in the comments. See you guys next time.